Going on, everybody? Welcome to the Filsinger Games Character Spotlight with Mike and Brock.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Brock, and today we are finishing up Sudden Death 2094 with Mace and Dreggs New Order.
Yep. I can still remember Tom back at his place in Jamestown when he lived right across the road from Sheldon's house or behind it. A few of us were just hanging out after dinner, after the lunch there. And Tom's
Mm-hmm.
like, I got a new artist. Let me show you one of his pictures. And he brought out Dregs, and it blew our minds. It was unlike anything we had ever seen before, because
Mm-hmm.
it's complete, you know, Chuck Carter was, thick lines, like kind of Jack Kirby-esque. This was more detailed.
Yeah, very much so.
And if you see this drawing compared to all the rest, it was impressive as hell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like the comic medium at the time. This is the art style. It's definitely a product of the 90s, we'll say that.
Yeah,
But yeah, definitely a huge change in art. Larry Snelly, I know, is a favorite of a lot of people, especially with the black and white era.
I'd put him in my top three.
Yeah, he's good. Mike Gustovich is my personal favorite.
Oh, you can't go wrong with one
Yeah,
set gun.
you gotta love those static posed, unfinished lines. Yeah.
My favorite is the horn on Battering Ram's head.
Yeah. He had some good stuff.
Just the afterthought horn. Oh,
Oh, yeah, this guy's supposed to be a Ram man. Oh, we got you covered.
we're
Mike
gonna
Gustovich.
change how it looks. Yeah. Well, who do you want to start off with?
Let's start with the big guy. Let's start with Mace.
Okay. Now I know this might have been in your Lost in the Shuffle, wrestle two cards per year.
Hmm.
How did these guys work for you? Did they stand out more than others because of who they were?
They definitely did. It was when these guys came along, it's like finally the Gladiators had somebody that could give them a match and can hang in there with them in a feud. You know, they were game changers in the tag division. Even in my my Fed of Follies.
Yeah, they fought the Gladiators. They're two-time GWF Tag Team Champions.
Okay.
So they did okay. I can't remember how well their runs were. I'd put them under 10 cards each.
Okay.
Uh, for me, if you get to 10 cards, that's pretty good because you're wrestling, your top three contenders day in, day out.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
And he was matched up against Brute, and he lost 3-1-1
Okay.
for years. And in year five, I had a three-way feud. I had, the Gladiators versus War versus uh, Armageddon, Carnage and Slaughterhouse. So it was one of the
Classic
few times,
bootleg.
yeah, one of the few times I did a three-way feud, and it was fantastic. All three teams were evenly matched, went back and forth, but War came out on the losing end.
That's kind of surprising because I think they have the stat advantage. Looking at them here, it's been a while since I've looked at these cards, but
I
wow,
still
these guys were tough. These guys were tough.
and I did play it where Mace was the hothead,
Hmm.
uh, but unlike in the game, I didn't have him turn on War.
Yeah, they have a pretty rocky history. They team with each other's ex-partners, things like that. And yeah, they definitely go through the ringer as far as the personal drama.
Yeah, with me, what happened with Mace was because I use the Premier League soccer system where you get dropped down.
Hmm.
Well, War ended up getting their ass kicked all the time, so didn't have a lot of points, and then Mace had hardly any singles points, so he ended up with one of the lower points, and he got dropped to the NGA.
Wow.
And
The
so
lack
that's
of singles finisher makes him the weak link, I think, of the team.
yeah. So he didn't wrestle too much in singles, but how I work out the points is I take your tag points, divide it in half, and add it to whatever singles points.
That's fair.
And so they weren't the bottom tag team, but he was one of the bottom wrestlers.
Hmm.
So the bottom tag team is automatically eliminated. So they weren't that, but he was still one of the bottom wrestlers. So he got the tag team got split up because of that. So he got sent down.
Oh wow.
And he got paired up with and I brought this up before, Jack of Diamonds.
That's an interesting pairing. I like it
And
though.
they are two-time Intergalaxian tag champs. He won more gold, and now he's back up, and he's rejoined War again, but he brought Jack of Diamonds,
Nice.
and because Raven and Dreggs have been teaming up, and they can't win the gold, but these two guys, uh, Mace and Jack of Diamonds, put themselves in title contention right away. Won a bunch of big matches. I have a huge um, tag tournament, and they fought Chaos and Matador, and they took them to the limit, and it was very close. So those two have been doing incredibly well, so well that Mace fought uh, what are they called? Thunder and Overkill. They're the Gladiator Vanguard.
Hmm.
They battled them to a draw.
Wow.
Their feud. Like
Nice.
he couldn't beat Brute and Massacre, but he's along with Jack of Diamonds. They're killing it for some
Just a
reason.
good pairing.
Yeah, they just work out well for me. Like when he teamed up with them in the uh with War. So with Dregs, they ended up fighting Carnage some more. They, Carnage and Slaughterhouse Armageddon. They fought him two more times and lost. But as soon as he teamed up with Jack of Diamonds, they're winning. They beat them. They beat So he's got nothing but good things teaming up with Jack of Diamonds, and it's a pairing I never would have made if I hadn't use the system where guys move up and down.
Give him the boot.
Uh, Anybody who's don't doesn't know what to do with him, hey, that's a perfect
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah,
Try
there
him
you
with
go.
Jack of Diamonds because they for some reason they do well.
Hmm. Yeah, he's got a really solid card.
He does.
Definitely not as good as Dregs, but he'll hold his own. Just the lack of singles finishers. Really the only thing I see.
It's
Minus
it's a
four power.
he's got a singles finisher, doesn't he? Plus one.
No.
No.
Unless it's in the handbook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he just has the Holocaust, which is a rule finisher.
Yeah. For me, I just use that as a zero in a singles.
Okay.
Yeah, anybody with a tag finish, I just you know it's a power slam or whatever.
Yeah, he does his half of the move.
Yeah, and it's a zero finish.
Makes sense. Hmm. The C on his death jump is a little glaring.
Yeah, but
He gets DQ'd a lot with a six. He has his number one move on level 3 is a deadly bear hug 2, so there's a chance he could get kicked back up to level 2 pretty easily. But other than that, he's got the double out of the ring, which is kind of rare at the time. Most big guys had it though, I guess.
yeah, but yeah, he matched up with Brute. -4 power, -4 power.
Hmm. Yeah, those one-on-one matches he had to dominate. I don't
Yeah,
think I did very many one-on-one matches between those two, but
I think I might have did one or two, but yeah, most of it was all singles, all tag matches.
Hmm. Yeah, because even his agility is a +1, so it's not an automatic like, oh, well, that's done if you roll one of those agility checks. +1's not terrible.
No. So it's like I said, he's he's done quite well, especially after I broke them up.
Yeah, yeah,
Like there's a chance, a real good chance in the future he's going to win that third GWF tag title.
yeah. He's got several partner options for you that work out.
Well, especially with um, Jack of Diamonds.
Hmm.
They've already won two tag titles, so they're about to go for their third. So they've done well. How would you uh how would you power creep this man?
I would just give him an option for a singles finisher, even if it's a zero, like you said. Just have it like in a little asterisk, like in singles matches, he uses this move,
Yeah.
zero. No, it's
Well,
it's officially on the card.
just to be different, I'll take that his level one move on level three defense,
Hmm.
turn that into a death jump.
Okay.
So he can keep you down.
Yeah.
But
Better
then there's still
chance.
a chance of of a reversal.
Hmm. Very
Make it
cool.
make it a choice H. Yeah, but it's the power one. So
Yeah. Definitely, you knew when you saw these guys that they were going to be major players,
yeah,
at least in that time period. Maybe they didn't have a really long run together, but
no, but it was memorable, especially for who they were.
for sure. The
I liked
Gladiators
War.
finally had somebody that matched them.
Yeah, I liked War as a team. Destructon was the best manager out there at the time.
Hmm.
Eight and eight distractor,
Yeah.
and he was just somebody where if you screwed up, you didn't want him to get in the ring because he would have killed you.
Yeah, exactly.
We covered this in the last show. Destructon was a guy you just didn't want to get in the ring with.
Nope.
He probably could have taken on all four gladiators by himself.
Probably. For sure.
So we can slide on over to Dreggs.
All right. Bring my camera back up here so I can see what I'm doing. All right, here is Dreggs. Now, when I first saw him, I instantly thought of Gambit from the X-Men,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah,
but this card probably came out before Gambit had that kind of look in the comics. It's probably getting to this, but it's probably pretty close to.
yeah. Put a trench coat on him and you have it.
Yeah, yeah. The hair and but yeah, that's what I thought, seeing this in 97 for the first time.
The one thing I remember, I was doing the Canada Cup,
Hmm.
getting ready for Sunday, and I'm picking all the wrestlers, and I'm whittling it down to the top 32 wrestlers out of the sets, and I'm at 30. And Dave Schaefer comes along and he goes, I got a couple guys, I want to throw in, but I still want to make competitive. And I'm like, he goes, how come and he's looking at the stack of guys who I'm talking about. And he goes, why don't you add Dregs and Massacre? I'm like, well, they're tag guys. And he goes, put them
Hmm.
in. I'm like, because Matt Dregs, I was like, yeah, he's probably going to make it in, even though he's a tag guy, because he's still a solid wrestler.
Yeah.
But Massacre, he was on the outs at the moment. He's like, put Massacre in anyway. Okay, so they both went in. That year, those two guys met in the finals of the Canada Cup, and Dregs won it.
That's great. It's all
So,
Dave Schaefer's fault.
yep. So Dregs won a Canada Cup. I don't remember who won. I think Mark Ashby might even won it that year.
Hmm. Yeah, but this card, hey, he's got a double finisher. There's zeros, but he's got a double finisher.
Three downs
Straight
on
through
level
on
two.
level two, three moves getting through to three. Um, he's got a choice F at number one on three, but that's a pretty good odds at being a
Yeah.
level three move. His charts are AABA.
Yeah.
So it's pretty awesome on the charts. Got a -3 agility, 0 power, 3 cage, 5-2 pin. He has 2 downs on his card, both with an option to tag, and one with a tag and a leave. So he's a hard guy to beat,
Yep.
especially in a tag match. But in the singles, he's pretty darn good too.
Yeah, that's what I expected big things with him and Raven. They just couldn't click though.
Yeah.
He puts you down, Raven comes in with a double finish of a +1/+2.
Mm-hmm.
And if Raven gets hurt, pretty sure Dreggs can handle his own for a little while.
Yeah, he can. He can. Yeah, if the 5-2 pin, you got to at least hit a couple finishers on him to do anything.
But with me, I look at their cards here, and as War, okay, yeah, he beat Massacre his first 2 years, and then lost the next three to him, and then
Wow.
lost to Carnage for 3 more years. But as soon as they broke up, he didn't. Uh, he was matched up against Grunge and Metalhead. They drew there, and then they beat Dorado Sundown, Bull Whip, and Black Lash. I use
Mm-hmm.
them now because I wanted to use the cards. And then they were he's matched up against Mayhem, and Mayhem and Vengeance are a team,
Mm-hmm.
and they beat them. So it was funny. As soon as they broke up, they started winning the big feuds. Something you couldn't do.
Excuse me. Sorry about that.
No problem. Yeah,
That's
if
funny.
I don't know their like for me, I had Mace at 6'6", 280 pounds, and Dreggs at 6 foot, 230.
All right, I have Dregs open here. He's 6 foot and 1/2 inch,
Yeah.
238 pounds.
Oh,
So I
very
almost hit
close.
that one on the head. And then Mace is 6'4", 287 pounds.
Damn, I was close.
Yeah. It's funny.
Because yeah, I don't use the book or anything. I like to make my own heights and weights, so I was pretty
Hmm.
close on those.
Yeah. Yeah, as you were doing the theme park guess your weight game, you would have definitely won with Dregs for sure.
I would have won with both of them. I wasn't that far off on either guy. Did you use Dregs in any different way, or you just a simple tag team with those two?
He was a tag team guy. Yeah, that's pretty much all I did. Just because, like I said, at this time I was just trying to get caught up.
Yeah,
I regret it still to this day, but yeah, a
he's a
lot
guy.
of
You look at him, he could win some titles for you.
oh yeah, for sure. Just
Singles,
looking at this
singles
card,
titles.
like
Like
if I dropped him in my bootleg fed, he'd dominate.
yeah. Like I don't know if he might upset somebody for a heavyweight title and give you a quick run.
Hmm.
But something like a secondary title, like a TV title or a Intergalaxian, he'd give you a decent run.
Oh yeah, he'd hang on to that for sure. He's pretty tough.
He is. That's why I've started to push him a little bit in singles near the end of his career. I know I'm pushing him
Uh-huh.
because he's like, hey, I've won some, but I also want to, he wants a taste of some singles gold.
Hmm.
He wants to do the Arn Anderson, I want the TV title.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I think that's the title he's actually going for is a TV title along with it, just to give him a couple shots.
Hmm. Nice. I think he'll do well.
Yeah, I do. I do. I fully expect him to, but how would you power creep the dregs?
Ooh. I would take away one of the hurts on level 2 defense and make it a dazed.
A dazed.
Hmm.
Does he have a dazed on level 2?
Not on defense. Nope.
Yeah, yeah, you can't do that then.
Why not?
I thought the rule was you can't. You have to have it on the level above.
He has 3 above it.
So on level two defense, he's got a dazed.
No.
Oh, that's what I was talking. I thought you had to have a. I haven't looked at the rules in ages, but I didn't think you could have a daze just randomly appear.
Yeah, every once in a while you see him on level 3.
Oh,
Very
okay.
rarely, but yeah, the days on level 2 is fairly common.
Yeah. I
Mace
thought
has
you
two
had.
of them.
I just thought you had to have. If you had a daze on two, that's the only way you could have it on three.
No, I was gonna put it on 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna take one of the hurts away on 2 and make that a dazed.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought you were talking about three. And I'm like, no,
No, no, just
you
on
just jumped all the way to.
no, no, no. I don't think you can do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, what?
You might be able to. I don't know, but yeah, that's what I would. Just because he's already pretty good.
I know.
He's,
Just to be different, I'd give one of his singles finishers a +1. So he'd still have a double finisher, but it'd be a
there you
0.
go, and that would be a significant bump, honestly. Both of those would, honestly, because
Yep.
he's either going to be hurt or come back. An option for Dazed would give him a little bit more of a fighting chance, and the extra finisher boost also would give him a fighting more of a fighting chance to be that top contender, which is pretty much at that level already. Just looking at his card,
Yeah.
I forgot how good these guys were.
He said, I'm currently using them, so I know how good they are.
Hmm. I like them. And this reboot fed that I'm never going to do. I'll, de- I'll definitely give them some consideration for a big push.
In my fantasy world, they're going to get some awesome shots.
Yeah. If I can somehow find 3 more hours to have in a 24-hour day, I can do all kinds of cool stuff.
That you could.
And we all could.
Or instead of running your reboot fed, run your bootleg fed, but one on like the first Sunday of the month, do
Hmm.
your reboot fed.
Yeah.
That way you'd slowly get through it, but you'd get through it.
I would never get caught up then. Look, we're
Yeah,
talking.
you have
I
to.
can't
Like,
get caught up in my NDW fed to where I'm at. That and that's only 3 years. This is 50 years and a lot more guys and cards
that's true.
in Dream World. Maybe I'd want to start all the way back at the beginning though, like Jeff keeps saying, with the early classics and all that stuff.
Yeah. See, if those would have came out first, but I didn't want to reboot again.
Hmm.
That's why I
Yeah,
merged them into my.
right. Makes sense.
But our topic, your most surprising heels, guys who just come out of nowhere, and
Hmm.
you're like, damn, I didn't expect that out of him.
Mine was actually Omega from the introductory set. I've mentioned it a couple times on here that he just got tired of losing and he started aligning himself with all the top guys, good and bad. And they put together a big super group called the Legends of Wrestling, and the rest is history. And he was the mastermind behind that.
So I'd say my most surprising heels, two of them are bootlegs.
Okay.
One was Tex Remington, the
I always
Tim
kind of
Dalton,
saw him as a heel.
yeah, the Tim Dalton Terry Funk esque,
Hmm.
but he captured my heavyweight title twice and beat Chaos both times for it.
Nice.
Like I was just,
I love that card, by the way.
he shouldn't have done it, but he did.
I use that card so much. So I remember bringing that home from the first Galacticon I was at, and it just, it was him. I forget who all was available there, but I bought them all. It was just a handful. It's him, Carnage and Slaughterhouse. They
Oh,
didn't even have any
for
copies of
bootlegs,
Akuma then. Yeah.
Tim did him and El Pantera Negro,
Yep, that was another one.
and
And then
I had,
Core and
I
Walter.
think I was calling him Sideshow back then, Corin Walter.
I remember getting those. And then Corey had the Draconian Chic, but spelled Chic.
That came out Well, I know that was an NGO card. I didn't know he had made a bootleg for it.
Yeah, it was before the NGO set. It was the year before that one was available.
Yeah, see, I never got that then.
Huh.
I didn't even know about that.
And I think there was a Tagger mask that went with that too, a female Tagger mask.
And then the other guy was Steve Minskoff character, Homicide.
Nice.
I teamed up Homicide and Caddy.
They look similar.
Yeah. And I had them both as island guys.
Hmm.
And I called them the Bruise Crew off of an old Image comic.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I just like the name. And he again, he won my, he went from the TV title, Homicide, captured the Intergalaxian, captured the heavyweight.
And just to
But
clarify, these bootlegs were not like the stereotypical bootlegs at the time where they were overpowered. They were balanced
yep.
and fit right in. So it's just cool that they had that success.
And but with Homicide, what I did is I'm like, wow, I didn't want the bootleg dominating this much. So he was such a like, he was a gangster type guy, like a thug. So I had him get arrested.
Nice. Yeah, that makes total sense. I actually have them conveniently. We didn't even talk about this. They're right here. Let me pull them out for a visual. Here's Homicide.
Yep.
And here is Tex Remington.
Paul Barnes did the artwork on that one.
Paul Barnes art.
He did it on his kitchen table in like 15 minutes.
He's
Tim
good.
said. And but for if I go with just GWF guys, um, most surprising heel for me, like that just kind of came out of nowhere and shocked people. I'm gonna go with Mandrill.
Okay.
I know people expected him. Well, he was the big bad
Hmm.
in that set, but the storyline I gave him, and it's the only time I ran this storyline, was Wolf was the Intergalaxian champion. He had just beat, I can't even remember who he beat, but Mandrill came down and just beat the crap out of Wolf, attacked him from behind, used his volcanic stunner on him.
Hmm.
And so Wolf wanted a match, and he's like, I'm not going to fight you unless you give me a title match. So
Sounds fair.
Mandrill's first ever match, Wolf's not going to back down. So Mandrill's first ever match was for the Intergalaxian title, and he beat Wolf for it.
I remember you talking about that.
So he was just, suddenly this guy went from nowhere to Intergalaxian
The
champion.
guy.
His run wasn't that huge, but he did okay on it. And he's just stayed at that kind of. He doesn't win titles, but he's the guy who I have take any, will do anything to
Yeah.
win at all costs.
He's just a bad dude.
Yep,
Here's for reference in the Draconian Sheik.
that's a Randy Bugdale.
Yep. And so is Tagger Mask.
Yes. Okay, I have those cards. I thought they were part of the NGO.
No, they came out prior to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
And I know both me and you got some mail this week from our friend Grant.
We did. Do you
He,
have yours handy? Because I
I,
buried
I got
mine
I
looking for
got
other
mine
stuff.
handy.
All right.
I'm displaying it right now.
Awesome. Thanks again, Grant. You are
It's
the
the
man.
Atherin War Dome, and it
Hmm.
just gives some ideas if you're feuding gladiators.
Yeah. It's their own home arena.
Yep. So they get some kind of home bonus. Uh, DQ encounters are treated as knockouts, and if a gladiator loses, he's banished. He gets sent away for extra training, so you lose him for a while.
I like that option.
Yeah.
I think my favorite one for the special matches is the lumberjack, where they're all Atherin soldiers.
Yeah.
So they're all hostile. No matter what side of the ring you get thrown out on, they're all hostile.
Yeah. No Atherin should ever leave the ring.
It's very well done. He's done a couple other arenas, but I think this one's my favorite.
Yeah, because he did a Memphis one, I think.
Hmm. It's good stuff. I mean, that's such a clever idea. Just like home field advantage and stuff like that, or different shticks that these different territories would do, things like
Yep,
that.
I'm
Good
gonna try
idea.
using it.
Yeah,
Give it some whirls because it looks fun.
for sure. And thanks again, Grant. You're probably the most generous person in this community.
Solopromoter.com.
Yep, check it out. It is available for download if you're not on his mailing list. It's on the Filsinger Games boards. It's probably that website you listed too.
And he's got a very elite mailing list. So if you're not on it, there's a chance you're not going to get on it. Because I think he only allows like 150 people. So think about making the printing cost for this and then mailing it out.
Just the hard plastic sleeve.
Yeah.
Those are like gold in this community.
Grant's the man when it comes to that stuff.
He is. He definitely gives a lot to this community, and he needs more praise than he gets. But he
Yep.
doesn't do it for that. Definitely doesn't do it for the
No,
praise.
no. So yeah, it's one of those things you can't say get enough things about Grant, but
Yeah.
he's super generous and very outgoing. Runs his
Hmm.
own cons. He's just ran a con a little while ago.
Yeah. Tom was there.
Yep. Shows up to that con. He better start showing up to actual CWF cons. I'm
Well,
just
Burbank's a
saying.
little closer to Arizona than Chicago.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Just saying though.
It's true. Good stuff. Well, we ready to put a bow on this one?
Yeah, we can.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching, listening, however you consume this. If you have not yet, please click that red subscribe button right here, here-ish, somewhere below one of us. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Also, check out our friends who make Filsinger Games related content, including the official Filsinger Games podcast, Roll Up, the Legends team's Uncharted Territory, Lee Longpre's Dizzy Dice, Grant's GWF Fancast. Here on YouTube, we also have GWF. No, I'm sorry, not it's solo promoter now from Grant.
Yep.
Right here on YouTube, Dave Little's Heartland Championship Wrestling, and After Further Review, where they look at a lot of sports type tabletop games. So check that out. There's some Filsinger Games content there. You see my Twitch content there, my Twitch link and all that. I stream Champions of the Galaxy stuff, a bootleg fed on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. Check that out if you can. It's free. And yeah, all that's there. If you have something you'd like us to add, please just shoot one of us a message and we'd be happy to include it to get the word out for your content as well.
Yeah, and if you want to appear on the show, send us a message. We do get them. We will get back to you.
Yes.
If working out everybody's availability can be difficult at times.
Yeah, I'll be honest. This year, 2023, has been a rough one for me with illnesses in the house and all kinds of stuff. That everything seems that we record on Mondays and everything seems to happen on Monday. That derails my day. So yeah, we have a few in the tank. So we're again, peek behind the curtain. We're about a month ahead now, I think, on content. So
Yeah, I thought it was 2 weeks, but
I think it's 3 now.
oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, either way, we'll get you on eventually if you'd like to be a part of it. Until then, everybody, thanks again.
Good night.
Later.